Uyakwazi ukuzihlola ngokwakho ibele ukuze ugweme ukuthola ngomdlavuza webele ususebungozini. Kwenziwa kanjani noma kangaki loku? Uqala nini? Kanti futhi uma usuneminyaka emingaki ukukwenza lokhu ugcine nini ukukwenza? Imibuzo nebisematheni emavikini adlule njengoba bekugujwa inyanga yomdlavuza webele ngenyanga kaMfumfu eNingizimu Afrika. Experts say that when it comes to any cancer mbukeli, early detection saves lives. Ukuzigwema lesi sifo kungcono kakhulu kunokweselapha. Ukuyihlola njalo kungagwema ukuthi uzithole usubhekene nezinkinga ezikhungethe izibhedlela ikakhulukazi ezikahulumeni. Sibala ukugcwala kwabagulayo, ukuntuleka kosizo lokwelapha nezisebenzi nemithi nokwenza ukuthi iningi lingatholi ukwelashwa ngokusheshsha. Mbukeli, namhlanje ohlelweni sibuza ukuthi can we win the war against breast cancer? Is there enough awareness being raised about the disease, especially as we see young people diagnosed with breast cancer lately? Le eminye yemibuzo sobe siyidingida namuhla ohlelweni Asikhulume. Let's talk olungunqa phambili. Sikubingelele mbukeli sikwamukela ohlelweni. Igama lami ngingubongiwe uMakhumalo wakwazwane. Sikhumbuze ke mbukelo ukuthi ningaba ingxenye loluhlelo ngokushayela ucingo sizwe umbuzo noma umbono wakho inombolo zethu zocingo 0117140677 noma 0117140678 kanti ungabuye futhi usole emakhasinethi okuxhumana ku Twitter @SABC Izindaba kanye na ku Facebook ikhasi lethu SABC Izindaba. Kanti mbukelo ukuze kube lula sicela uqale ngo #Asikhulume #SABC News bese ke ubhala umbuzo noma umbono wakho. Asikhulume. Mbukeli, according to the Cancer Association of South Africa, approximately 19.4 million women aged 15 years and older live at risk of being diagnosed with breast cancer, the cancer affecting women in South Africa the most. Mbukeli, uyakwazi yini ukuyihlolela umdlavuza webele? Ake sizwe imbono yenu.
I do check myself every week or when I'm bathing just to make sure that everything is okay. Specifically looking for lumps and stuff, yeah.
I think it just never comes to my mind, like it's not something that concerns me in any way.
So a clinic, they usually check, also they touch, and then if maybe they feel that there's a difference in the bayenzayo, to the other department and also try to get a sample of the lump or the feeling that you have, and then by a secret testing lab, and then from then on lindle results.
Ngizibamba sometimes but asinto kaningi.
Uzenza nangisema periodini nginokuzi-examine ngizi-check ukuthi I'm still okay or what, because sometimes feel as if like kuna something nyana la emabeleni and then ngikhumbula ukuthi kune breast cancer, so ngisuke ngicabange yona, but then otherwise no.
Mbukela sibonge kakhulu ngembono yenu. Ukudingida kabanzi ngalokho asamukele ihambeli zethu uRehab Zulu owayenomdlavuza webele noDokotela Zukiswa Jafta ophuma eminyango wezempilo osesifundazweni saseMpumalanga Koloni kanye noRefilwe Sidumedi ozohlanganela nathi ongumsunguli wenhlangano eyimele iSidumedi Hope Foundation naye omunye owayenesifo somdlavuza webele. Asiqale ingxoxo yethu mbukele Rehab, ngizoqala ngawe. Let's just start with talking about the fact that wena wathola kanjani?
Ngakuthola lokho ukuthi ngiyagula kwakungo 2017 njengoba kushiwo ukuthiwa asinaki nganganakile ngangigula ngizizwe ukuthi ibele lami liyashisa empeleni kodwa mengilibuka ngingaboni ukuthi ngabe kunenkinga ngase ngibona ukuthi ake ngibone ukuthi ngalithola usizo ngaleli bele ngacinga ngafica indawo lapho khona ngizobheka khona. Khathi mengifika babuka babona ukuthi kahle lokhu kuyadinga ukuthi kuhlolisiswe. Kase kuyabhekwa ke khathi kubhekwa kwatholakala ukuthi unfortunately nginomdlavuza engasona umdlavuza kuphela wase unabile ngaleso sikhathi ngangina 35, so phecelezi stage 3C kusho ukuthi wawungekho ebeleni kuphela wawusonabile waze wafika ngaphansi kwekhwapha. So ngathola kanjalo ukuthi ke ngase ngingekho right emzimbeni wami. Kahlahle siyagqugquzela ukuthi umuntu azibheke every month esikhathini esiningi khona ukwazi ukuthi uzobona ukuthi khona umehluko, uzokwazi ukuthi rule it out umehluko ongenankinga noma umehluko oyinkinga yonke into iyadinga ukuthi ihlolisiswe abodokotela.
Ubugula ngokomzimba noma ubuzwa nje ibele lishisa yini enye into obuyizwa?
Yebo. So emzimbeni ngangi right ngicabanga ukuthi okunye inkinga yalesifo lesi zokuthi ubukeka umuntu o right. So ibele kwakuyilona elinenkinga engicabanga ukuthi ukube umuntu ngaleso sikhathi wayekwazi ukuthi athi screening. I don't think ukuthi there was enough communication about screening, more especially for younger girls. Besicabanga ukuthi isifo sabantu abadala noma isifo so hlobo lithize labantu mhlawumbe ungacabanga ukuthi kungaba wena. So emzimbeni ngangi right up until ngizwe ukuthi ibele leli liyashisa, ibele leli libhlungu, mangilibuka ngingabona inkinga. Kanti ngesikhathi kubhekwa phakathi ngoba inkinga yomdlavuza ubulala phakathi mangabe sebebheka phakathi bathola ukuthi kahle kahle lo mdlavuza lona uaggressive. It's stage 3, it's also grade 3 because uyagrade grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 depending ukuthi iaggressive kangakanani. Nohlobo lwalo uloluhlobo olulukuthi aludingi kuphela ichemotherapy, ludinga ama targeted therapies ukuze ukwazi ukuthi ulale emzimbeni.
Ngizobuya kulokho angilethe uDokotela Jafta. Dokotela Jafta siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ube nathi. Asiqale ngokuthi sikhuluma ukuthi how do we begin to improve ukuthi abantu besifazane babe more aware of the fact that they need to go for these kind of tests, but also ukuzexamine wena ekhaya uyihlole ibele lakho ngoba sometimes siyezwa masikhuluma nabanye abantu bathi kakhulukazi abesifazane mhlawumbe abasemakhaya bathi bona bazi konke lokho abakaze bathole le information. Manje sikushintsha kanjani lokho?
Molweni kakhulu apho studio. Into esicinga ukuba i-breast cancer nje besitsho nje ibonakala apha ebeleni, umonakalo wenzayo ngaphakathi akululanga ukubona. Into endicingayo uba ingatshintsha njani into yoba number 1 abantu mabaqale bazi amabele wabo, bazi umzimba lo wabo. La nto kuthiwa isipromote i-breast health ukwenza buzophikha uba intoni erongo nebele lam uqala kuba zikhona izinto zabu-science kanje sinozithetha ezinothi zikunike i-clue uba ikhona into erongo ebeleni ingekafiki kona oyipeni. Singayilungisa lento ngokuthi qho thina abantu sisebenza kweli candelo sikwazi uku-educate mandithi mhlawumbi i-information elapho kwi-public ayikho enough. As much as sizama awunoyenza ngokwakho as ogqirha nonesi ezibhedlele ifuna nezinye organization ezingaphandle zonke civil society sincedisane sizohambisa into i-message enye ethi ubalekile ukuyazi i-breast cancer kuba nje bijongakala inomonakalo ngaphakathi.
And xa ujongile Dokotela Jafta, is there a higher risk mhlambe ku patient maybe already enenye i-type ye cancer ngoba sometimes kuke kube khona these myths that go around ukuthi xa umuntu enenye i-type ye cancer angaba ku risk ye breast cancer, abanye bathi xa une HIV ungaba ku higher risk. So masicacisele ababukela uba how does it impact? Is it just anyone or are these patients at higher risk?
Well, maybe Uqala uba wena i-breast cancer kona inazo i-risk factors. Sometimes ayibikho i-direct cause yayo, but i-risk factors zikhona. It's not sizichaze kule nkqubo. Number 1, siyakwazi uthetha ngofuzo ekhayeni apho siyazi uba ubukhona umama wakho okanye usister wakho one-breast cancer at risk of ufumana i-breast cancer just because uzalana naloo mntu. Uyakwazi ke umntu ongutata mandithi brother yaloo sister naye abe at risk just because isefamilini yakhe i-breast cancer. Akwazi utshekisha yena atshekishe ne-prostate cancer because most of the time ootata abane-breast cancer babanayo sister onayo i-breast cancer. Ukuthi ke iyakwazi uba kuthiwe le nto hereditary, but it's only accounting about 10%. Siyakwazi ke sithi xa ube nayo i-breast cancer utshekishwe uba awunayo le yamaqanda kuthiwa i-ovary kuba zonke zihambelana zonke. So ngokune-breast cancer funeka sijonge loo nto uba akukhona into ethi ovary cancer kuba loku zikhona ii-genes endithi into zifuneka ozi-inheritayo wena mntu one-risk ye-breast cancer ekhayeni uba sithetha ngelo cala sizijonge kakuhle ke ngokwelo cala. Kodwa zikhona ezinye ke izinto esinothi sizibalule ezingenanto kwenza nofuzo.
So Dr. Jafta ngizocela uyibambe kancane lapho ngoba masibuya ku-breaking ngizodinga ukuthi sikhulume ngabantu besilisa ngoba you've touched on them and we do know some of the challenges that are in that particular regard. Mbukeli sisathi shelle idolo unganyakaze siyabuya manje. Mbukeli kanti uma uqeda ukuhlanganyela nathi sikhuluma ngesifo somdlavuza webele umunye oyisihambeli sethu usekhona uRefilwe uSidumedi nongumsunguli wenhlangano eyimele iSidumedi Hope Foundation. Ngizoqala ngawe ke Fifi sikwamukele ohlelweni. One of the things that is very clear is that, you know, as we've heard, how damaging breast cancer can be, but take us back to the moment when you found out.
All right, thank you so much, Bongiwe. It was in 2013, but I had that lump for like 2 to 3 years, which I don't condone to the viewers at home. But I had the fear of the unknown because I lost my mom in 2004. She lost the battle of brain cancer. So the history in my family, you know. So I think for me to be scared to get it checked, it was because I saw my mom struggling with the cancer issues. And I took that leap of faith and went to see the doctor, and that's when she referred me to Helen Joseph Breast Clinic because she was not happy about what she found. That's how my journey started. And I had that lump in my left breast, but some of the lumps are not cancerous, just to make it clear. But mine was cancerous, and I had lymph nodes underneath my armpit. I didn't know about that. And they did mammogram, they did ultrasound, and they also had to do biopsy just to make sure and see if it's really cancerous. And then after that, it was confirmed that it's cancerous. It was stage 2, and I had to start we did surgeries. The first surgery was to remove the lymph nodes underneath my armpit, and also to do reconstruction of both my breasts after removing the lump. And then I had to start my chemotherapy, which was 6 to 7 months. After every 21 days, I would go for my chemo, which was not, it was horrible. And just to emphasize on that, chemotherapy is the toughest. You know, you might not be killed by cancer, but be killed by chemotherapy. That's how rough it is. Because your system, it regenerates your system. Remember, it fights all the cancer cells in your body, and it messes up your system.
So how did you stay then positive to say even through that thing, that chemo, it is rough, but also you've just been diagnosed, and Rehab, I'm going to come to you as well with this question to say, I'm having this resolve to live. It doesn't matter what's happening.
I think for me, Bongi, it was, my kids were still very young. My son was 12 and my daughter was only 6. So looking at my kids, because to be quite honest with you, after I was diagnosed, I had suicidal thoughts because I felt like I cannot go through what I saw my mom going through, you know. But there was this noise, the voice in my ears to say, no, you've got so much to live for. And prayer also, Bongi, where it conquers everything. To be quite honest, being diagnosed with cancer, it's not an easy journey because firstly, when they diagnose you, it's that thing of, am I going to die? You know, it's either you choose between living and dying. It's a choice. So it's quite hectic. And I also think my stubborn faith, it really helped me. And like I said, accepting, you know, every challenge, if you accept and see how are you going to make it to the finishing line.
Rehab, for you,
Yes.
Ufifi talks about stubborn faith. She had the resolve, her kids and all of that. What drove you during that time?
I think for me, it's the pathways that you get referred to once you're diagnosed. And obviously, the people in the medical fraternity they know better than us. So they counsel us, they give us the right... Bekungelula, I will not lie, because I had a 5-year-old and I had a 7-year-old. So obviously, I saw myself leaving my kids. But I think at the time, I was also informed of people that have won the battle. So at the end of the day, it's also about information, about understanding your diagnosis, understanding that as people we respond differently to treatments, and I think that's something that we need to underscore, that, you know what, somebody might have lost the battle. It doesn't mean that you will lose the battle. We all respond differently to treatments. Our bodies are different. And just that willpower of saying, I will make it, and being cooperative, I think it's very important for patients to be cooperative with the medical fraternity. If you have gone to an oncologist to seek help, you need to stick to what you have gone to and not go that side and not go that side. Yeah.
And that's exactly indaba engifuna ukuya kuyo. Dokotela Jafta, sike sibone kwesinye isikhathi umuntu athi hayi mina ngeke ngiye ngoba bazongisika ibele, and mase bangisikile ibele ekhaya ubaba uthi akasangifuni. Uyazibona zonke lezo zinto lezo, angazi ukuthi sisebenza kanjani around zona ukwenza sure ukuthi umuntu wesifazane azizwe naye ukuthi njengalabo ababili abahleli phambi kwethu ngingaya ngiphinde ngisinqobe lesi sifo.
Yeah. Inkosi kakhulu, ikhona kakhulu lonto okuqaleni njengoba besitsho kufuneka baqale bayi-accept into yoba ewe i-cancer and uzawuyenza yonke into ethi mayenziwe ukuba makayilwe i-cancer ingangeni emzimbeni yakhe ihamba. Part of i-treatment ewe kukususa ibele, nakhona sezikhona ngokindlela zoba ikhona iba isizathu sisikhuphe sonke ibele okanye sishiye sithathe le ndaweni eqhuma kuphela. Into ethi ke ngoku wonke umuntu efamilini yalo muntu masim-educate, simenze aware, because i-myths zona zikhona. Abantu bayoyikiswa ngabantu baphele bebaleka bengafuni i-treatment. Ewe ke xa sekufuneka ibele lisusiwe kungokuba mhlawumbi likhulu eliqhuma, asikwazi ulisusa lodwa singayishiyanga i-cancer ebeleni. So zikhona ke ngoku ii-options ezithi khawufumane le chemo sizawuyenza kancinci eliqhuma lizosuka kuba lo xa sewenza i-operation ufuna i-operation ikhuphe le nto ingashiyeki ngasemva i-cancer. Sithi ke ngokubantu bangoo-partners ekhayeni siyacela i-acceptance yomama osuswe ibele ingahluki, u-accepte that i-disease imkile, isusiwe ibele nalento i-choice yoba akwazi uphila ubomi bakhe obude. Sisitsho sisithi ku-important uba omama bayazi uba bayi-self priority ngabo and si-improve i-moral yabo as i-community and i-partners. Zikhona ezo zinto zoba i-relationships don't go well kuba ibele lingekho. Ifuna iqale kubekho i-acceptance kakhulu apha kumntu lo simtritayo. Kuba lo sithetha nge-life and sizama umelana nesi simo sikuso ngoku.
Fifi, just before we go for a break, very briefly, you know, every time I've seen you do your work, you're in pink. Your hair is pink, whether it's braids, it's what. Is that a deliberate thing on your part?
For me, Bongiwe, it's all about the significance behind the pink look. You know, cancer is killing people every day. So I cannot wait for October to raise awareness. For me, this pink look on a daily basis, it also reminds me to embrace my scars, not to allow my scars to define who I am, you know. And in a way, I'm raising awareness because people look at me like I'm a crazy person. Why is she always pink? Then when I sit and tell them, that no, the reason why I'm pink is because you can see I also have a ribbon. For me, it's about I'm being loud to the society to say you can win this. You know, I did it, and you can also do it. Like she was saying that sometimes it's all about the noise that we hear from other people. What works for me, it can not work for you. remember, it's different immune systems.
And I suppose it's even with every single illness, when you're diagnosed, you know, you hear so many things, but your will in that point comes into effect. But Masbuya, from the breaking, it's as to how do we begin to do this, but also teach our viewers how do you do the self-examination. Okay. Mbogele sesiphetha ake sibheke isombululo salenkinga nokuthi senze njani ukuthi siqwashiswe ngomdlavuza webele kusese nesikhathi. Just before singathi siphothula uhlelo lethu ngizoqala ngawe Rehab. Umuntu osekhaya uhlola kanjani ibele lakhe uqala nini senza kanjani khona isikhathi noma ungahlola every day?
Empeleni ungazihlola nsuku zonke, but we would recommend that emveni kuba uma ngabe usaya esikhathini emveni kuba uye esikhathini ngoba ngesikhathi uye esikhathini amabele wakho ayavuvuka ngenxa yama hormones. So ke ngesikhathi use uqedile lokho mhlambe 3 to 5 days, then ungazilolonga uhlale or ume in a shower noma uhlale ulizwe leli bele leli all round.
Okay, so ungenza kanje
with your fingers kanje ul massage. Sikhumbule ukuthi ibele ngaphakathi linezigaqa, lidalwe ngokuthi linezigaqa. Akusizona zonke igaqa ekufuneka ukuthi zibe inkinga. Kufuneka uzijwayele njengoba umama besho eliyakona ukuthi uzazi umzimba wakho, uzijwayeleke igaqa zakho. Ngesikhathi uzizwe ukuthi lesigaqa lesi sithanda ukuhluka nasekuqaleni, uyahamba njalo ngemino uyaphansi kwekhwapha, uyaphansi kwekhwapha kanjalo ngemino uzuzizwe ukuthi okay la ngaphansi kunama lymph nodes ukuthi asuka khona la ebeleni ayahamba aqhuma umzimba wonke. Kunezigaqa ezincane ezilingana mhlambe nobhontshisi. Ngesikhathi lesigaqa lesi usizwa akufuzile ukuthi usizwe kakhulu, uyasizwa noma si soft makuthi uyapiciza kakhulu. Ngesikhathi usawusizwa kakhulu usawusizwa ngathi futhi sesithanda ukuba sikhulu, kuyadinga ke ukuthi uhambe uyohlola ukuthi engabe kwenzakalani la phakathi.
Okay.
Every month uyadinga ukuthi uzibheke kanjalo. Okunye ke singahluphi kakhulu amabele ngoba ngesikhathi uloku uyithinta kakhulu uyenza ukuthi mhlambe uthola ukuthi kuyavuvuka noma it's a false alarm. Kanye nje after udlule esikhathini uzibheke ukuthi engabe kusafana yini naqala.
Okay. Fifi, when you go around the deep slot kakhulu futhi ukhuluma with the women around, what are some of the things that you say that you can say to our viewers very briefly as we wrap up giving them solutions?
All I can say, Bongs, is giving up is not an option for one. Because we face challenges on a daily basis, beside all these health issues. And we need to exercise a lot. We need to eat healthy. We need to drink a lot of water. Okay, I understand people who are smoking, when we tell them to quit smoking, they make a lot of noise. But minimize your smoking. And our people lately, they are going through, I think because of stresses that we encounter, people are drinking a lot. Try to minimize your drinking, you know, and again, just know that we are here for you. And when we are fighting, because, you know, when the soldiers are going on war, like, some don't come back, some will come back, but just fight with everything that you have. And pick up yourself, dust yourself, knowing that a better version of refueler is waiting on the other side. And pray, Bongiwe, it conquers everything. I know we've got different beliefs, but just know that we are here to hold your hand and make sure that you reach to the other side.
Dr. Jafta, njengomnyango uchazile eqaleni ukuthi akusinina kuphela ene responsibility yokuthi anifundise abantu ngalokho. Umbukelo obukele namhlanje uthi mina ngena kanjani ke ukuthi ngisize ukuthi ngikwazi nami ukuthi ngiqwashise aba around mina ukuthi bazi nabo ukuthi kwenzakalani, mhlambe nama ngibanga naso lesi sifo kodwa ngisiza kanjani ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi umphakathi ube aware.
Nkosi. So sithatha ngento ethi masisebenzisana lento multi stakeholder. Zininzi organizations ezisebenzayo but uhulumende uthi i-department number 1 khona i5 risk assessments ithi khawuphendule lezi questions i5 uyazenza i-self-examination qala ye-breast njengoba sigqiba ukuthetha. Have you noticed i-changes apha kwibele lakho? Uyableeda mhlawumbi between ama-period wakho and i-pap smear uyigqibele nini and the history of cancer family. Ezo zinto zisibalekisa straight to uba khona i-risk ekhoyo. Okwesibini, siyasebenzisana kwinto ezidibene ne-awareness, sihambise ii-messages ezithi kwindaba ye-breast cancer. Once you diagnose breast cancer, ayiyo end of the world. There's still more life to live, especially now that kukhona indlela yoyibona, kwenziwa i-ultrasound, kwenziwe i-mammogram, kwenziwe i-scans, ibonwe early le cancer, ukwenzela ukuthi izotreateka. Okwesithathu, sicela ukuthi 1 sikhona ezi risk factors sikwazi usebenza kuzo, indlela yokudla, kuthiwa less fat, high fiber, i-exercise, alcohol consumption masehle kakhulu kuyo, zonke ezinto sikwazi uzitshintsha. Siyacela uba i-diagnosis ye-cancer is not the end of the world, especially ngokuzinto ezintsha zifikayo ne-treatment ekhoyo ngoku. Abantu are living longer with i-cancer, and let cancer not define you.
Ngiyanibonga kakhulu nonke ngoba umbukelo lolu hlelo has a renewed sense of hope ngoba kwesinye isikhathi siyayicabanga ukuthi sisodwa and you get this diagnosis awuna support kodwa ke usuzwile mbukelo ukuthi lesi sifo akusiyona i-death sentence. Ungakwazi ukuthi usinqobe kanti futhi ngokuyihlola kwebele njengoba sekubonisile earlier on the show kubalulekile. Angibonga kakhulu ukuthi uhlanganyele kanye nathi mbukeli kanye nezihambeli zethu Refilwe Sidumede ongumsunguli wenhlangano eyimele iSidumede Hope Foundation no Rehab Zulu owayenomdlavuza webele kanye no Refilwe nayo benawo kanye nodokotela uZukiswa Jafta ophuma eminyango wezempilo esifundazweni saseMpumalanga Koloni. Sikubonga kakhulu na ukuthi uhlanganyele nathi nethimba le Asikhulume okakhumalo wakwazwane uthi ayixabe.